I think there has been, quite rightly, a heavy focus and emphasis on the E of ESG, the environmental side. And whilst I think every company, particularly in the mining sector, appreciates the importance of good corporate governance, I firmly believe that there's a requirement to revisit some of the assumptions that are made in good corporate governance and to find new formula for ensuring that the structures and processes within the entity are fit for purpose. What do I mean by that? I think we sometimes overlook the fact that every mining company, or most mining companies for certain, on the continent are joint ventures. They're joint ventures between private operators and investors and the state. The state's interest in that joint venture is often no less than 5% and sometimes greater than 20%. And making sure that there is alignment between those shareholders is critical for the smooth operation of the entity. And that's fundamentally determined by the quality of corporate governance. Good corporate governance. I'm going to talk to the macro level, if I may. The most important thing is to have strategic alignment between the shareholders. So there needs to be a vision for the asset. I've been on a panel here today at Mining Indaba where we talked about a very sophisticated joint venture arrangement between multiple parties for financing and operating logistics infrastructure. That process took an awfully long time, multiple years in fact, to arrive at the appropriate structure for the specific project in question. I think that sort of process employed between the shareholders to make sure that there genuinely is a strategic alignment between them, a vision for the project that they're all happy to support is integral. The next part of alignment that I think is essential is value alignment. Who contributes what, for what economic value, who derives what, and in what proportion. And often you'll find that that value misalignment between the shareholders is what creates the tension in a joint venture relationship, particularly between the public sector and the private investors, and can often lead to problems for the entity. So the third and fourth elements I would talk about are cultural alignment. You've often got a foreign investor and nationals represented by the state and their equity. And finally, structural, systems and processes that govern the ways of working. We often focus in the context of corporate governance on just that latter bit, but the strategic, the value alignment, the cultural alignment is equally important.